Three, two. Hey, Michael. So talk to us. Tell me one or a couple tactics or strategies or thoughts we can do with Google Ads that can definitely help other practice owners out if we were to implement it today.
Yeah, honestly, I think for me, going back to the basics and really aligning your goals with your budget is probably one of the most important things to do. And oftentimes, it's one of the things that both marketing agencies and dentists get wrong right off the bat. And that can create a lot of frustration. So, there's a lot of contributing factors to what you should base your budget around. I think the first and most important thing is what are the results you're looking for? So, understanding if you're a scratch practice that's looking, just to get a bunch of new patients in the door that have the insurance that aligns with your practice. If you're a fee for service practice that's looking for new special patients or membership patients, or if you're a more specialized practice that wants to do frenectomies, dental implants, all on four dentures, all of those types of patients can be more or less expensive when it comes to bidding for them on Google Ads. And so I think it really makes sense to pause when you're talking with a marketing company, or if you're planning on doing this on your own, and really understanding what it is you'd like to see happen from that marketing campaign and making sure that you have clear goals that you're sharing either with your team or with the marketing agency. So just as an example, because I think sometimes this can sound really generic, our team is built and continues to refine a kind of a budget projection calculator. So when we talk with clients, one of the things we'll do is we'll ask, what type of patients are you looking for? But that all starts with understanding their demographics, right? Having a urban campaign, let's say one that's in Los Angeles, is very different than having one in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Those are totally different markets, totally different cost per conversion, cost per click. And so just for fun, Michael, I don't know if you can think of a client that you're working with, or maybe just a part of the country. Is there a zip code we could put in and we can kind of just almost do one together and sort of see what a budget would look like for a practice?
All right. So for anybody listening right now, if you go in the show notes below, we're on video, and right now we have like this budget calculator happening right here. So let's try something in Texas. So 77498 or 77492. Try that.
77492.
Yeah, let's just see what 92 is.
Cool. So put it in. It's going to take a second. 77492, you said, right? Oh, there we go. It's updating. It's going to take a second, I think.
If 92, then 98.
Okay, 98. Let's try that one.
Yeah, 77498. I want to say 77498 is Sugarland, Texas.
There we go. Yep. Yeah. Cool. So one thing we do is we pull all this data in from the national census. So it's not data that's being made up. So we can see this is, and I learned this when we did this, there's actual classifications for communities. So this is technically classified as a suburban community, population of 51,000, median household income 80,000. And we're able to look at that income distribution on a plotted chart here. We can look at the age. But all of this data comes in and helps us inform the larger question about what budget should we have to get the results we want. So let's go down here and, for those that aren't looking at the screen right now, we've got basically a list of a bunch of different campaigns. Michael, I'm going to have you play the client here and just generally speaking, share kind of what you'd like to see from this campaign. We've got brand. That means that there's people that are searching for your brand. You're protecting your brand space there so other ads can't show up. We've got general dentist, emergency, insurance, pediatric ortho, clear aligner, dentures all on four, you name it, it's in here. Let's pick just a few. We don't have to do every one of these, but how many patients would you like to see come through brand campaigns?
Almost all, but let's go with 10.
10, awesome. And why don't you pick maybe 3 or 4 more here and just put a few in. So I'll let you look at the screen and tell me what you'd like.
Can I pick implants, Invisalign, and then emergency?
Great. So let's look at emergency first. How many emergency cases?
Can we do 10 on all of them? Like 10, 10, 10, 10, like that?
10 emergency.
Yeah.
You said 10 Invisalign.
Yeah.
And 10 dental implant.
Yeah.
Okay. So watch the number right now. So right now we have 10 brand, 10 emergency, and 10 Invisalign. We're at $3,000. I'm going to put in dental implants. We jumped up to $7,000. So most practices, I think, that are spending money right now are probably not spending $7,000 on Google. And if you think about what this means, it means that we're generating 40 patients that are in, these are not leads, these are patients coming in the practice. We also are projecting a lead value. So we're projecting that at a minimum, this would be about $100,000 worth of lead value. Now, for the average dentist, spending $7,000 to get $100,000 is a no-brainer. But I think this is a really good opportunity to talk about alignment. Most of the time when we're talking with dentists, they're not looking to spend $7,000 on Google Ads. That would be a huge investment. It would be really scary, and it's probably not in the budget. And for anyone that's looking to do 10 Invisalign cases, 10 dental implant cases, 10 emergency cases, that's probably more realistic for what it would look like in this part of Texas. So if you were to pull out dental implants and pull out Invisalign, and let's say that we're going to do something that's maybe more aligned with what the average practice would want to see. You could maybe have, let's say 5 to 10. So we'll call it 7 come in through brand. We'll call it maybe 15 leads come in just as general dental leads. We'll have maybe 5 emergency cases come through. And then I'm going to put 2 Invisalign leads. So if you do that, that's pretty normal. That's about $3,000. And again, that would be a little higher than what the average dentist is going to spend. A lot of times the average dentist is coming in their budget around $1,000 to $1,500. And sometimes I think they're disappointed with the results. They'll say, hey, listen, I really was hoping we'd get all these other cases. If you look at that, we're projecting that this would be a minimum of about $20,000 of lead value. And that's spending $3,000. That's a pretty good ROI. So understanding and aligning your expectations with your budget is super important to making sure that you have success with your Google Ads campaigns.
Gotcha. Okay. So this calculator right here, it can't just be like, so for example, you know how we went from 10, 10, 10, 10, right? Like, and we decided, okay, it's going to be what was it? Like almost 8,000, right?
Yeah. Like $7,000 or $8,000. Yeah.
7 or 8,000. I can't say, all right, as long as I'm going to get that many new patients and the value is going to be that much, like it was like 99,000, right? Or something, I'm going to do it. It's because it looks like a good. So if I were to do that, would that really happen? Like the 99,000 come in and all that, or?
Again, we're dealing with, so we just watched the Kentucky Derby last weekend, right? And and there were odds out there, and I think everybody's kind of like, well, if the odds are really good, it's guaranteed to happen. And for anyone that watched the Kentucky Derby, the horse with the lowest odds ended up winning. It was amazing, really, really fun race to watch. And I think that is also how digital marketing is, in that we're dealing with real human beings on both sides, right? We're dealing with someone who's a potential patient. They have a lot of different motivations, a lot of things going on in their life. And we're dealing with practices, front desks, different fee schedules, and approaches to presenting care. All of those things can contribute to increasing or decreasing the conversion rate of a phone call or of a lead. But what we're basing this off of is the data that we've collected at Wonderist for the last, 10 years. And so, there's some other data points. If you're looking at the screen, you can see average cost per click, average cost per conversion, average click-through rate. Those are all data points that have been consolidated from thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars that have been spent, hundreds of thousands of dollars, I should really say, over 10 years. And so the more data you get, the better you can predict what's going to happen.
Gotcha. So let's talk about, like, what if someone wants to try this out? Like they have a low budget, and where should they kind of, I guess, roll the dice on first? I would think like brand would be hard, right? Or I don't know. What do you think?
So brand is a goofy one. And if you're going to do brand campaigns, then you should understand what it is. What it is a campaign that really protects your brand. So a lot of times people are searching for, wonderistagencydental.com, or they're searching for your brand because they're either an existing patient or they've been referred to you. They already know about you. So if you're cynical, you could say, why would I ever spend money to show an ad? Well, there's especially if you have dental or dentist in your name, other people can show an ad, and that can take up the whole sort of initial real estate above the fold on a Google search result. So if you want to make sure that no one else swoops in, confuses a patient, steals them away with a better new patient special, a brand campaign helps with that. Now, just to talk about, was that expensive or not? I'm going to zero out our other things. If we wanted to get 10 patients from a brand campaign, we would spend about $100 to protect that. So it's
Mhm.
really minimal investment. It's not a lot of money. In fact, most of our campaigns spend 50 or less dollars. If you want to take a small budget and make it go as far as possible, you should focus on general dental or emergency. Those are probably the two areas to focus the most on. Once you start getting into aligners, dental implants, all on fours, there's so much competition and the cost per click is so much higher that smaller budgets just do not perform as well. And so it's really going to be those general dental and emergency campaigns. So for example, if you wanted 10 general dental patients, in this area, you might spend about $1,400. If you wanted to get 10 emergency patients, about $500. So emergency is a little easier to get than general dental.
And then if we were just to like do 10 implant ones, like by
Yeah.
itself, right? That would be,
Yeah. So if we just do 10 implants, that's $4,000.
oh, wow.
That's such a great, you can see we go from basically 500 to, so 500 for emergency to get 10,
Yeah.
1,500 to get general, and then to get 10 dental implant cases, we're looking at about over $4,000. And if you think about it, that makes sense. You can see the projected lead value here. It's about $50,000. So the ROI is that much better, but that means there's so many more people competing for those keywords. So it's going to be more expensive. It's a higher ROI ad campaign.
Yeah. And from your experience, do you even see that? Like when people are like, all right, I'm willing to put 5,000 right now on just, this is for the, or yeah, 5,000 on just implants. Like from the beginning, that's kind of hard, right?
There's, I think, increasingly more and more people that are, as they're evolving their practices and they're focusing more of their time on wanting to do implants full time. I think people are seeing the benefit of having a more aggressive marketing strategy. So I think there's a difference. There's some dentists who are focused on general dentistry and they like getting a few implant cases coming in, but it's not the focus for them. But as we see more and more of our dentists that are spending a large amount of their chair time placing implants, placing all on fours, shifting their practice so they're focusing on Invisalign, whatever it is they want to do, I think they realize that putting in marketing dollars is essential and those budgets are going to be higher. So it's not, there's less people in the market doing it, but the people that are doing it really well.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I feel like starting out sometimes, like, I mean, we've all kind of talked to some practice owners and sometimes they're like, oh, $2,000, $3,000 budget for like implants and all these things. But this is kind of even opening my eyes, right? I'm like, oh man, we would need a lot more to see like really good numbers, as far as their budget.
And you got to think about who you're up against, right? If with Invisalign, the company is spending money on those keywords, because they've got their own, practice finder. And then you've got dental implants, you've got some large groups that are focusing on placing implants and dentures, and they're spending a lot of money in market. So it really goes down to what's the competition doing? That sets the price. And that's where the data that we have coming in here is really just informed by what we're seeing in each market, the data we've collected. And it's a good way to start a conversation and at least feel like we're aligned on potential results that we'll get.
Yeah. Awesome, Michael. I appreciate your time. And if anyone has further questions, you can definitely find them on the Dental Marketer Society Facebook group, or where can they reach out to you directly?
Yeah, so you can go on our website, wonderistagency.com, or you can reach out to me personally at michael.anderson@wonderistagency.com.
Awesome. So guys, that's all going to be in the show notes below. And Michael, thank you for being with me on this Monday morning marketing episode.
Always a pleasure.